Welcome back to Stocklabs, another market recap. We're a little past halfway through August, and the past week was not too bad. Market sort of got a nice bounce, recovered a lot of the dump from all of the yen problem, Bank of Japan problems from a couple weeks ago. We had the Qs up 5.5%. S&P was up 4%. IWM up 3, and also the Dow up nearly 3. So you see the Qs were the leaders. S&P a little more heavily weighted toward the big tech names, and then we've got IWM and the Dow. They kind of did whatever, both up around 3%. Bonds stabilized, I guess, up 1%, but not really doing a whole lot. Crude flattish, and gold up 3%. So big week for gold. We've got our leadership stocks. Nvidia up like 20%. So actually, I don't know this number. I don't even know if it's right, but yeah, big week for Nvidia. Tesla also up 8%. Amazon up 6%. Apple up 4.5%. Microsoft 3%. Meta 2%. And only Google was down. There's some antitrust action or something, whisperings that the DOJ is going to come after Google, but that stuff never plays out, so you don't have to worry about that really. And if we look at our breadth for the industries, green across the board after a couple weeks of red across the board. So looks like materials and tech were the leaders, both up about 2.75%, almost 3%. Services up 2.5%. Industrial is also around 2.5%. Financials a little less than 2.5%. And then we had consumer up 1.8%, healthcare up 1.7%, and utilities up 1.5%. So healthcare still sort of an underperformer relative to the rest, but we expect that. And subsector wise, okay, we have, there's a handful that are up around 5%. We've got silver and gold sort of leading the way, up 8 to 12%. Semiconductors are sprinkled in here, up around 7%, 8%. And the other things, okay, I see some other industrial metal type stuff. Let's see, machining, textiles, rubber, more semiconductors. But yeah, so a pretty good week overall. And on the downside, we've got basically nothing. So there's only even 7 subsectors that are down at all. Most of them are around flat anyway, unless you're heavily into CATV systems, then everything was fine. If we look at breadth by market cap, we've got 1 to 5 billion cap companies up 3.5%. 5 to 10 billion up 3%, so kind of in line with IWM. 10 to 50 billion also up around 3%. Mega caps also around 3%, and Terra caps, 100 billion cap plus companies, 4%. So everything was basically uniformly up 3% across the board, with the exception of the very large companies. They were up around 4%. So we've kind of got a little bit of our top heavy market again back that was working so well before. If we look at sort of our oscillator, kind of getting near overbought on like our 6-month sample period. On 3-month sample period, we're already overbought, sort of similar to the middle of July. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, again, like I had mentioned before, it's still summer trading, so you know, we had the little bit of a quote unquote scare with the BOJ thing a couple weeks ago. It doesn't seem to be having any lasting impact on the market. And so we shouldn't really expect a whole lot of action until after everyone's back from Labor Day. Oh, I forgot about the intelligence for this week. Okay, even there's not even a whole lot of stuff on here. Inverse banks and inverse VIX. Yeah, so VIX Crush will be alive and well as always. And on the downside, not a whole lot here. Some China internet thing and crypto and another China ETF bearish. Although I feel like this could be a bear China ETF. I forget. Anyway, you don't have to pay attention to China regardless. Yeah, so like I said, we hit an overbought reading kind of on our 3-month oscillator. 6-month didn't quite get there, but you're kind of near the top end of this range. So probably any more extension higher, you might get an overbought reading, but find that out in Stocklabs during the week. And yeah, that's all from me. So hope you guys have a good week out there, taking it easy over the summer. And there's only a couple weeks left until the real trading starts back up again. So be back next week, see how everything went. Bye.